compact sedan segment has very many established names, and most of them do come from Japan with, well, good reason. But let's say you're the Steve Jobs type that likes to think different and out of the box. As far away from ordinary as possible, from its price to the fact that it's a liftback, yep, you heard me right, this is the MG6 Trophy. Before anything else, if you haven't had enough of my yapping on YouTube, you can now get even more of my yapping on Spotify or wherever else that you get your podcast, because we do have a show there called Torque of the Town, featuring me and Gino Rufino, where we talk about anything and everything under the sun, including, of course, cars and bikes. So do look out for it. It's called, once again, Torque of the Town. Speaking of torque, let's head back to the MG6. Now, the front clip is actually quite familiar, we do have to admit, but it still delivers a classy and upscale look with its grille and what seems to be a sort of 3D effect. The lights up on top are LEDs with DRLs, and your turn signals down below don't just blink, but light up in a sequential pattern. A touch I like very much. You get some faux carbon surroundings there as well with some metallic trim below. Now, the front, despite its familiarity, is actually quite well-rounded. It's not too over-styled, but yet still sophisticated. When you pop the hood, or should I say bonnet, kids don't try that at home, you are looking at a 1.5-liter turbocharged gasoline engine that produces 164 horses and 250 Nm of torque, made into a 7-speed DCT that brings you up to speed quite nicely. But there is a catch. More on that a little bit later. Now, fuel economy figures, you're looking about 67 inside the city, 11 on Sundays, and 16 on the highway. So basically average. So it doesn't drink petrol like a drunken hooligan on his 8th pint of Guinness on a Saturday night. But who does, really? So really, it's not bad considering the car's size and the performance that you get out of it. You know, I could really use a Guinness right about now.
It's just Monday, dude.
Dude, start the week right. I mean, what's wrong with a Guinness on a Monday? My most favorite part of the MG6 has got to be its sight. I mean, look at this profile. Where else in this price point are you going to find something that's this good looking? It effortlessly shows off sophisticated and grown-up looks with these lines here and there, and with a sloping roof line. It really just goes to show that you don't have to do much to stand out. It's also fitted with 18-inch wheels wrapped in 45 series tires. You get disc brakes all around, 135 millimeters of ground clearance, and repeaters on the side mirror. And to add to its class and sophistication, you've got badging of trophy and performance up front. Like I said, class and sophistication. Basically everything that Earl is not. Now, the rear follows the theme of the sides, where it gently slopes down to the rear. Even the sides bend ever so beautifully into the center of the rear. The lights actually they look pretty good. They remind you of the C-Class, don't they? Overall, the car is actually very darn good looking. I have only one, and I do mean one qualm about it, which are these silver tips found down below on either side. They're supposed to be exhaust tips, but really, if you look a little closer, the exhaust can be found underneath. So yeah, that looks really weird. Now, when you open the back, you are looking at 424 liters of very usable space. It's very wide, and if you want it to get taller, all you have to do is 86 to tonneau. There is a bit of a lip, but really not a problem since the car is so low. That space more than doubles to about 1,000 liters when you fold the second row. So that really is one big boot. Hey, God, that was so awful. Could have done so much better. Earl, you're fired. Getting into the MG6 rear is a cinch thanks to the leather seats. You just really slide on in. Except the problem would be if the driver's in a hurry, because you will be sliding around on your butt. The red leather in here is a little bit much. It's a bit striking, I should say. Not my cup of tea, but actually might work for other people. You don't get charging points back here, but you do get 2 air vents found down here, bottle holders on either door, speakers of course, and a center armrest, if I can get this thing open, with 2 cup holders where you can put your cup of tea. Now, the leg room is absolutely great, so that's really not a problem. The headroom, you might actually think is a problem too, but not really. Even though there is a sloping roofline, there's an indentation right here for much taller passengers. So all in all, this is actually a very comfortable place to be. Yeah, I like it. Now, when you get into the driver's seat of the MG6, you'll find that the seating position is actually very relaxed for the driver, and you can get to your proper driving position in a cinch because of the electronic seats, manual for the passenger. Up here, not a problem also for taller drivers, since this is a telescopic steering wheel, which you can have a lot of fun with when the car's not moving. Is that a bicycle that just passed me by? Oh, I'm in park. Oh. Now, the seats are definitely comfortable enough. However, people might complain about the leather, saying that it may lean towards more the durable side rather than the plush side. I have to admit that is true, but at the very least, it's not bad considering this car's price point. Another complaint that people might have is that the lack of a lumbar support when you're driving outside of the city or being stuck inside the traffic of Metro Manila, which definitely sucks and happens all the time. Some people may complain about it, sure. Me, on the other hand, really no, because it allows you to sit into the car as comfortably as possible, and I actually absolutely love it. On your flat bottom steering wheel, you will find buttons that control the infotainment and your instrument cluster. The controls for your cruise are found in a stock just below the controls for your lights. You've got analog gauges that flank an LCD screen for your trip computer and also displays other info like your fuel economy. The 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system of the MG6 is actually quite clear and responsive. It also has Apple CarPlay and a reverse camera, but oddly enough, when you play music, it skips every once in a while, like when you're going over bumps and you have a CD player inside your car. For those that don't know, CD is actually a compact disc. It's these round silver things that you people now use as clocks. The front has really nice touches of leather. You find some on the dash and on the door cards as well. While the cheaper plastics are mostly out of reach, you also find some faux carbon trim around here. Not the biggest fan of that, but along with the strong red accents, it might actually be somebody else's cup of Earl Grey. No, Earl, not everything is about you. God, not everything is always about you. Every time we're on a shoot, you think it's about you. It's never about you. You're always in the shot. I tell you to get out of the shot, but you never get out of the shot. And then we have to do the shot all over again. We're going to be under the sun. I'm going to turn into a tostito already thanks to you. It's like being in an oven the next time and the next to you. Earl, give me some space. I can't breathe, man. Seriously. No. The MG6 comes with 6 airbags, ABS with EBD, electronic stability control, traction control, hill hold control, vehicle dynamic control, cornering brake control, and ISOFIX tethers. Okay, so I'm gonna put this out there just to get it out of the way. There is a problem with the MG6 transmission, specifically when you're stuck in traffic. It does tend to be a little bit jerky, especially if you're heavy-footed. Obviously, not everything's bad, because when you get out on the highway, it's actually pretty smooth and it picks up quite well. What makes it even better are paddles. Oh, paddles always makes everything better. Now, the turbo kicks in the mid-range. Yeah, you can feel a sudden push to it. Other people may say that they wanted a bit more of a linear delivery inside the automobile. I actually, on the other hand, kind of like it because it gives it sort of like more character, more flair, really. I mean, this is what this car's all about, trying to be different, right? And I like it. I like it being different that way. The suspension is actually pretty decent in terms of comfort, and they'll keep bumps away. It's the potholes that might actually provide problems for you inside this car because, well, you've got low-profile tires and the suspension might actually bottom out in with the full cabin. The thing though is the tires will grip very, very well because, well, there are 45 series tires, but it's the road noise that will come in and kind of echo on you that might catch you off guard. I will add this though, even though you're in a low car, you can still see everything very, very clearly. The windshield isn't extra big, but I don't know how they do it. It could be because the A-pillars are not that wide. It's actually elongated so that you can actually see the road without any impediments whatsoever. The side mirrors are not exactly stuck onto the car immediately. There's a bit of a gap so that there's air there. And there's a lot of light that comes in. And if that's not enough light, bam, you've got that. But really, your view of the road is actually pretty darn good in this car, regardless of how low you are. Going against the tide definitely has its quirks, but the MG6 has proven in fact that it is definitely capable, good looking too, and more importantly practical, because it comes in at 1,188,888 Philippine pesos. Now, it's no iPod, but in terms of thinking differently and as an alternative to anything out there, it definitely has the chops.